All right, welcome or welcome back, Pisces and Pisces placements. We're going to see what Spirit wants you to know for the month of May 2026. So this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to get 3 of these oracle cards here to set the vibe here for the month of May for you. And then we'll get into tarot and we'll get an overall card or overall energy. We'll get the challenge and the focus area for you. Okay. All right. So Spirit, what is the overall energy here? 3 cards for Pisces and Pisces placements for May of 2026, please. Just checking my mic, making sure it was on. I started a reading earlier and it was not on. So, okay. All right, so first card out, we have fired up, furious with rage, building up emotions, overwhelming thoughts, and very angry. Okay, 2 more cards, please. Okay, we have confused, lost, feeling invisible, a void inside, and running away. Okay, 1 more card here, Spirit, please. Okay, we have reminiscing, looking at photos, good times, thinking about you, and dwelling. Okay. All right. So while I'm shuffling the tarot cards here, we'll talk a little about these oracles that came out. So I feel like someone here, if they're angry, they're most likely angry at themselves. Okay. I do get that usually when with that energy, when I get that card that comes out. This person they're kind of angry because they have emotions within them that have been building up because they have refused to share them. Okay. The thoughts that they have are overwhelming them. So they could be an overthinker. Okay. And they're feeling very lost and basically in the 5 of Pentacles energy here, where they feel left out in the cold by you. They don't feel like they're a part of your life any longer. Okay. And they're reminiscing now. So they're basically just dwelling on old memories, thinking about the good times, and, thinking about you constantly. Okay. So let's get into it here. All right. All right, Spirit. If you can give us 1 card, please, for the overall energy for Pisces and Pisces placements for May of 2026, please. 1 card, please. Okay. We've got the 10 of Cups. Okay, for the overall energy. 1 card, please, for the challenge position, Spirit, for Pisces. Okay. Oh, goodness. All right, we got 3. Spirit does this to me sometimes. Okay, so we have 3 cards. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And the 4 of Cups. Okay. And then the 1 card, please, for the focus, please, Spirit. 1 card for the focus. Ooh, okay. Flying across the room. All right. We have the Lovers. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Wands. I do look at the 3 cards here on the bottom. So we have the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. Okay. So Pisces. Okay. Before we start clarifying, I'm just going to kind of go through what I'm feeling here with these cards. So the overall energy is the 10 of Cups here. Okay. So emotional fulfillment. I feel like you and this person have an emotional bond. Okay. And, I feel like both you felt, and maybe this person as well, that you each were each other's 10 of Cups, where you were that emotional fulfillment for one another. It was a sense of love, family, togetherness, okay, happiness, and all of that. Okay. I do feel like, unfortunately, the challenge is that there are two parties here involved. Okay. Put yourself wherever you feel like you fit. Okay. I feel like you could be the Queen of Swords here, but it's possible that you're the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Like I said, and air or earth energy, you could be an air sign. I'm sorry, you're Pisces. Or, if you're a Pisces placement, you might have air in your chart. You might have earth in your chart. I'm not sure because we're doing sun, moon, rising, and Venus. But, you could identify with being, even if you don't have these significantly in your chart as far as air and earth, we have the capacity to, be in these elements and into these different behaviors of the signs at any point. Okay. So you might feel like you're, in sword energy or air energy, or maybe pentacle or earth energy. Okay. Like I said, place yourself wherever you feel is best. But I do feel the energy of two parties here, and the fact that this connection is now considered a missed opportunity because of that. Okay. The focus should be the lovers. So, although this is a high level soulmate connection and there was a lot of love here, okay, especially with the 10 of Cups being the overall energy, the lovers is about a choice, basically. Okay. So, I feel like it's possible that this person chose someone else over you, or if they didn't choose and wanted to have a third party situation, it's possible that maybe you made the choice for this person, okay, by leaving. But we'll have to see what happens. Because on the bottom of the deck here, we've got the 9 of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. So obviously, this is definitely a soulmate connection, a high level soulmate of yours. There is a lot of love here. But with the 6 of Pentacles, this person was giving to more than one situation. Okay. It's clear as day here. And because of that, you've had to put up severe and high boundaries with this person with the 9 of Wands. And now this person has caused you to be in that wounded warrior energy. Okay. So unfortunately, they've kind of pushed you to putting up very high boundaries with this person. And now that you have moved away, most likely, from this person, they're angry at themselves for doing this. And they're angry that now they're feeling lost. They're feeling confused. They just want to run away and, kind of run away from life almost, because they feel like they have no part in your life anymore. And it's because they, put you in competition here. I mean, they wanted their cake and eat it too. So yeah. All right. So Spirit, 3 cards, please, to clarify the 10 of Cups for us, please, for Pisces. 3 cards to clarify the 10 of Cups. Okay. All right. So the first card out is the 5 of Pentacles. I had mentioned that earlier. All right. We have the High Priestess, and we have the 7 of Cups. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Wands. Of course we do. Okay. So, yeah, but this is not a surprise to me at all. So yeah, with the 10 of Cups here, yeah, you all obviously, like I said, have this emotional bond. Okay. This person, they don't have that any longer. So they feel left out of your life. They feel left out in the cold. They're confused. They're feeling invisible without having you in their life. Okay. They feel invisible to you. You're moving on, you're doing your thing, and they feel invisible. And they don't know what to do without you. Okay. They feel a void because you're not there. Okay. With the High Priestess, I feel like, you were following your intuition, with this person, that something was off. Maybe I feel like with the High Priestess that there were things that were hidden here, And obviously it was not just a third party, but possibly other things as well. Okay. I mean, they might have even had more than one party, but I feel like it's at least one person here. Okay. Um, so now there's distance between the two of you with the high priestess as well. Okay. Emotional distance, energetic distance, most likely physical as well. And then we've got the 7 of Cups here. So yeah, this person made you an option. All right. They made you feel like an option, even though they felt what they felt for you. Not only, this person is saying they're confused, they most likely confused you. Okay. They might have had confusing behavior where it was like maybe hot and cold, in and out, non-committal. And it was because, they were getting to more than one situation. Okay. They couldn't give you their full effort and their full energy. They might have even disillusioned you by telling you, that things would happen in the future, or giving you, stories of what you wanted to hear, possibly, that would maybe make you think that, yeah, things are moving along, that I'm the only person in this person's life. And unfortunately, their actions, they never followed through. Okay. And having the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck, it just solidifies again the fact that there was a third party. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. All right. So, Spirit, as far as clarifying the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups here, please. 3 cards for Pisces. 3 cards, please, for Pisces. Okay. All right. We've got the 2 of Swords, the Tower, and one more card, please. Okay. And we have the King of Wands. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Okay. And then the 8 of Cups on the bottom. All right. So, Pisces, yeah, I feel that, like I said, unfortunately, this is a missed opportunity now because there are multiple parties involved here. Like I said, at least you and another person, if not more. This is the basis for this person not being able to make a decision. They basically wanted to ride this wave as long as possible, wanting whatever you were offering as well as whatever somebody else or other people were offering. Okay. And, a decision needed to be made. And this person, I feel, was avoiding that. Okay. And because of that, a tower happened. And so either you intuitively felt that something wasn't right. Maybe you got some kind of evidence that this was going on. However this happened for you, there was a tower moment here between the two of you, because of all of this. And it basically shook up the foundation because it wasn't stable. Okay. So I feel like, that tower was most likely needed. And so if you did leave this person, that brought a tower to this situation. Okay. And so, this person is mad at themselves. But the fact of the matter is this person was in King of Wands energy. Okay. So they could be a fire sign, could be, or someone with fire in their chart. It could just be the energy because the King of Wands, like I said, I'm not surprised to see this card because, the King of Wands is all about passion. So this person was basically looking for passion wherever they could find it. I feel like this person could have been very non-committal. Like I was saying earlier, in and out, wishy-washy, fickle, like, couldn't make a decision. This person could have been very inconsistent with you. And like I was saying earlier, it's because they were giving to more than one situation. Okay. And then on the bottom of the deck, unfortunately, we do have the 8 of Cups. So you had to pull away from this person. The only thing you can do is pull away. All right. And walk away from them. So, yeah. You know, and it might have been a challenge for you to walk away. It might have been a significant challenge actually for you to walk away from this person, because I feel like you did feel like this person was your 10 of cups. This person was your emotional fulfillment. So, you know, why would you want to walk away from that? You know, so you probably had difficulty here walking away. I'm sure that you did. Okay, so Spirit, please clarify the lovers as the focus, please. 3 cards for Pisces. Okay. All right, we've got the King of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Sun. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Devil. Okay. So as far as what the focus should be here for May, Spirit is saying that, you know, although, yeah, this person, like I was saying earlier, it is a high level soulmate. It is someone that you have a deep love for, and most likely they have a deep love for you. Okay. Focus on, you know, being you. Okay. I feel like with the King of Cups here coming out in part of the focus here for you for this month, I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, with this situation, you might feel like you want to close off your heart here. Okay, you might not want to love again. You might feel like you're done with love relationships. You're done giving, and male or female doesn't matter the gender here, but Spirit is saying, you know, keep your heart open. Okay, that yeah, there was a decision that was made here, and maybe this person decided, you know, maybe they did make a decision, and they chose someone else over you with the lovers. It is possible that a decision needed to be made, and this person refused to make a decision, like I was saying earlier. Okay, so you made the decision for this person by walking away. Now, for some of you out there, if you haven't walked away yet, Spirit really wants you to really consider that. Okay. But I'm feeling that, you know, you have walked away from this person already. Okay. But stay in this King of Cups energy here. Okay. Definitely follow your intuition and keep your heart open. Okay. You might be getting a message here. There might be something significant about a message, and it's something that will make you very happy. Okay. I don't feel like it's going to come from this person. I'm trying to think. You know what? I'll clarify that for you. But the part of the focus as well that Spirit wants you to focus on is the Devil. So this was a toxic connection. Unfortunately, there were a lot of toxicities involved here, especially the fact that this person, you know, played games with you. They made you an option. They had, you know, third parties. Okay. And they played with your emotions. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like this person, you know, obviously they could have been hiding things from you. There could have been manipulation involved here. Okay. Spirit, please clarify the Page of Pentacles to the Sun, please, for the focus. Can you clarify the Page of Pentacles to the Sun for us, please? Okay. We've got the Three of Pentacles and the World and Strength. Okay. On the bottom, we have the Nine of Pentacles. All right. So I feel like this person might be messaging you. Excuse me. I feel like this person, so I feel like this person might be messaging you sometime in the month of May. Okay. So I feel like you might be happy to hear from this person. Okay. Because I feel like this person might want to work things out with you. All right. And so, like I said, it might bring you happiness to hear from them. Okay. Potentially maybe thinking that, you know, hey, I don't have any third parties anymore. You know, let's get back together kind of thing here. Let's try to work things out. But, Spirit is saying that you should hold back from opening a cycle here with this person. Okay. I'm feeling that a cycle has closed here with this person, especially for those of you who've already made the decision to walk away, which I feel like is the majority of you. Um, and you closed the cycle for a reason. Okay. You took your power back. You said, I'm not going to be a third party. I'm not going to deal with this. And you took that self-respect and you left. Right. So I'm sure there is part of you, especially with thinking that this person is your 10 of cups and feeling that way. And especially with the love you have for this person. But Spirit is saying, try to hold back from opening another cycle with them, okay, and getting involved in another cycle. Try to focus on yourself with the Nine of Pentacles. Try to remain independent and focus on your stability and your security and taking your power back. Okay. Yeah, definitely focus on that. All right. So as much as you might want to take this person back, please, please hold back from that. But, obviously we all have free will, and tarot is just something to help guide us. It's not to tell us what to do. So, you know your situation better than anyone else. If you feel like you do want to work things out and get back together with this person, feel free to do that. But Spirit is just guiding you to hold back at this point. Okay. And try to, focus on yourself, work on yourself, and on your independence, your stability, and your security. Okay. All right. All right. Well, Pisces, I hope that this reading helped you and brought you some insight and some clarity. If you feel like it resonated with you and your situation, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care and namaste.